I gotta talk about it. Joe Budden has been very vocal in the media and the press about his dealings with his podcast and relationships with those that have supported his podcast. There has been a major push for ownership, a major push for control. Joe Budden has been very vocal about this fight for some years now. Even to the point to where he's severed certain relationships and moved and jumped ships a couple times because they didn't respect him or his brand at the level that he felt it should be respected at. In doing so, Joe finally made a move that gave him complete control and ownership. And after doing that, he let his fans know. He let his fans know that him and his partners and his podcast finally got the respect they deserve. Emphasis on the word they. They. We. Us. Well, word on the street is that his partners decided to ask questions about the deal that Joe made and wanted to ask questions about the pay and just an understanding. These partners are Rory and Mal, or Maul. I think his name is Maul. Maul. They just wanted to know where the money was going. What's the funnel? Talk to us, Joe. Talk to us. Let us know what's going on. This, of course, sent Joe over the roof. Joe didn't like it. Joe said they got some fucking nerve. They're spoiled. Asking me about what I own. Fuck that. You guys don't need to know shit. This caused a major uproar. Of course, these two gentlemen decided to take a stance. Fuck that, Joe. You don't tell us what's going on, then we're not coming back. Well, fuck y'all. Y'all fired, Joe says. Podcast now is no more.
Wait.
Podcast.
They canceled the whole thing?
With Rory and Maul. His response to them was that I am your boss. If you have to audit me, you don't need to be here. Now,
Wait. Is the podcast is not moving forward?
Brother,
No,
I'm about to give you...
that's not true, Cal.
No, I'm saying the podcast with Rory and Maul attached to it is no more. Joe Budden still has his podcast.
Okay, he's fired the one on air,
Yeah.
and then the other one, he said he's allowing him to come back, long as he changes his views.
Yes.
So the podcast is still going to move on.
Yes.
He's just getting new co-hosts.
Yes, he's getting new co-hosts. By the way,
Is that what spec is?
new co-hosts, that if they decided to come would be stepping into not only a toxic work environment, a work environment where you get no respect at all from the person that employs you. The proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the example that you just saw. Here's the question of the day. How does it make sense to you to have such strong actions against the people that were with you as you built the brand that you now stand on and demand respect for? This brand that has allowed you to not only succeed and have success has been accompanied by your partners. Work for hires maybe, but they're your partners.
I got something to say.
Please.
So while I agree with you, we never ask you what you got coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And if we did, we know you wouldn't fire us, but would you feel some type of way about that?
No, which is why I open up the dialogue all the time. You guys don't ask because you're always in the know. Like there's never a dark circle or a door that can't be opened. Like I think the one thing that we've done very well, and I'll say this on air, I'll give this information for other people that are doing things with their friends, with their brothers, whomever, in business. A lot of these relationships get messed up when the relationship and business kind of cross lines. And the one thing that I've always done to try to prevent that to the best of my ability, and I think I've done a great job so far, is give the information. Give the information, give the ins and outs so there's understanding. And if there are questions, we table them as partners, as a group, because no matter what, the machine is our machine. Regardless of my name or not, it's our machine, and I would never make my guys feel as if it wasn't. So for the life of me, this isn't a petty moment. This is a real vocal moment that I'm just taking the opportunity to make sure I say. I have witnessed this man be vocal about so much on behalf of me, my career, my moves, and everything. And I don't care. I shut up. I don't give a fuck. This is what it is. You guys know I'm no stranger to negativity. I don't care about that. But I actually was a supporter of the progression of him and his podcast. From afar. I'm a fan of your growth. I'm a fan of what you're doing and the conversation behind it. It's dope. Yo, he's not doing business here. He wants to own it. He wants control. It's dope. To see you publicly shit on the guys that was with you, that's an example of poor leadership. That's an example of why you are where you are. This is why. Here's the answer. Point blank. You want to be by yourself. You want to be King Dingaling.
Whoa.
You can't do that. You can't do that. Wealth should be shared, not owned. Facts. So this is a shout out, man, to Rory and Maul. You guys were dope as fuck at that job. Once again, I was a fan of the fucking podcast. It's a sad day to see this shit end when you guys were on your way to what seemed to be higher levels of success. I don't sit up here and promote the negativity. Wish there was a world where you can work it out. But you need a good fucking leader that understands it's not just him. I don't think Joe has that. Damn.
Hopefully, they can just buy some shit.
Jesus.
You know, that stuff. You got to get that stuff back.
Wow. Kevin Hart went in. Kevin Hart went in. Now, the big answer to the puzzle. Why did he choose to go after Joe? Kevin Hart don't do anything uncalculated. This might be just a random thing. Right? Oh no, Joe has said some things that pissed Kevin Hart off before. Whether he critiqued a movie, a special, he got under Kevin Hart's skin. And Kevin Hart has got very thin skin. And I never knew that until he went after Michael Blackston. And from that point on, I started to see that, whoa, maybe Kevin Hart got some things, some issues that I didn't even know about. Because that should have never happened from a comedian to another comedian. Like, huh? Why would he be mad over that? He just finna do a whole concert promoting the incident. That's the only time. I am the biggest Kevin Hart supporter there is. Love Kevin Hart and all the stuff he do, and people try to say he ain't funny, and I'm like, what? Where did they get in there? Based off what? I've seen people in the movie theaters dying laughing at Kevin Hart in his movies and stuff, and his specials. It was just weird. Made no sense to me. So now that it's done in this way, the whole world has just seen Kevin Hart make an effort to really dump on Joe Budden. This is kicking a man when he's down. Joe was down. And when he said Joe Budden is his own biggest hater, that was powerful. That was powerful. And now that that's done, and it's been exposed, and the whole shroud has fallen, we're going to see where this goes or how far it goes. Kevin Hart has shown that when you take people who are your friends, you're supposed to hold them down. Right? But Kevin Hart, love Kevin Hart to death. Think he's a great individual to a degree. But there was some things that transpired that didn't make a lot of sense. When he allegedly was filmed in a hotel and they blamed his friend for doing it, and his friend fought it in court and spent all these years fighting it in court. He did a special saying, I can't believe it was this guy all along and he would do this to me. And this guy was very adamant that he did not do this. He spent time fighting it, and it was proven in court that he did not do these things. So once it was proven that he did not do these things, and it was proven in a court of law, they had no evidence of him doing anything, and he was proven innocent after all of these, the money, the lawyers, everything was spent. Kevin Hart is still yet to have a conversation with this man. And this was supposed to be his best friend, or one of his closest friends. Why wouldn't you have a conversation with somebody who was your closest friend? Why would you not do that? So, poor leadership, that right there is a mark to me, or a chink in the armor that says, hey, I don't really know. But his other guys, man, he's taking care of them. And I mean, he never takes full credit for anything. He always says us. He always says we. He's definitely showed by example, this is the way you move. This is the way you go about trying to grow or get your buddies put on a level with you. You know, they're all sharing in the success. And Joe belittled the people that helped make his show what it was, figuring that he could just work with anyone and it'll be a success because it's all about me. When you have that type of ego, it's going to derail It's just a matter of time. And then these people always say, why does these things keep happening to me? It's quite obvious why they're happening to you. The whole world could see why these things keep happening to you. Only person who have a hard time seeming to see it is actually you. Doesn't make sense to the rest of the world. It should. You're the only one that don't see it. Don't you think that's pretty weird? When you're the only one that don't see what's going on? Well, I remember he didn't like something Kevin Hart did. He just really wanted to express that because when Kevin Hart was on Clubhouse, Joe Budden really, had some words to say about that. A lot of people don't really remember that, but Kevin was defending himself on Clubhouse, and he didn't like Joe's comments to that. And Kevin was real targeted. He made it look like I'm just trying to say, send a positive message and trying to make it positive. But no, he really did this to shit on Joe. That's what it was about. He knows it's going to go viral. He knows he's going to stand with Rory and Mal. He don't even know the situation all the way. He just knows Joe Budden's a bad leader. And Joe's the type who says these things and then will agree with it as such. He's got to go to therapists. The problem is Joe. Joe is his worst enemy. I've always said this for years. Joe Budden problem is Joe Budden. He's going to blow it up. And anything he does, he's going to blow it up. He doesn't even know how or why this keeps happening. That's because he cannot. His ego and his drive to want to be like, to have meaning, like Joe Budden name, I'm going to be in lights. I couldn't get it in hip hop. I'm going to get it this way. That's what he wants. He wants that. And that'll get him the respect that he think he was owed or robbed. And he's always feel like someone took something from him or he should have had this and he was so close, but it got derailed and, F this. I don't need it no more. I'm too good for it. When you have that entitlement that he tried to say everybody else had, you're blinded. It's like he's turned into Gollum. Joe Budden has turned into Gollum now. And this is where he is. And he's stuck in his own way. He can't get out. Can't get out. He don't know how. It's a damn shame. But I'm out. Thank you. Hopefully you liked the video. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the page. We're gone.